up, Don?
How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. This should be a fun one.
Yep.
We have a lot of exciting stuff going on. I gotta get a little more in this picture here. A lot of exciting stuff going on. Today is our Christmas party for the bar. And Don and I wanted to do this video because it's New Year's. And we have a special bourbon. We also have the Georgia Bulldogs in the National College Championship tomorrow.
That's right.
And we hosted the cigars for after the game for them tomorrow. And we're gonna actually star and feature that cigar today with the bourbon that Don picked out for us. So Don, why don't you start us off and let's hear about it.
Cool. So we have a bottle from Barrell Craft Spirits. Barrell Craft is not a distiller, but they are a blender. So they're buying barrels from all over the place and winning tons and tons of awards for blending.
Super cool.
So they're doing a bunch of stuff in different wine casks, brandy casks, Madeira, and a lot of just straight up bourbons. So what we have is Barrell Bourbon's New Year edition. It's a cask strength, coming in at 113.54 proof, very specific.
Woo!
This is a selection of 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10-year-old straight bourbon whiskeys from Tennessee, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Wyoming, New York, Texas, and Maryland.
That sounds delightful.
Mm-hmm.
So now, this is it has a little special twist if we do something special to it at the end, right?
Yep.
So there's a little surprise coming with this bourbon too. And you guys might not even know this about this bourbon, so stay tuned here. Don's popping it open right now. Wow, that's a deep, deep color.
Yep. It's very yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know if you guys could see that. It's like,
Highly aromatic.
wow, it smells. Yeah, that's a different kind of smell too, isn't it?
There's caramel, but it's not dark.
It's super, yeah,
it's
light.
It's light. It's honeysuckle maybe. There's a lot of like fruit character hiding in there.
I just have nothing to say about this one. It smells delightful. I mean, it smells like a nice. It doesn't smell like a 113, to be honest with you. I think we're going to be surprised at this one.
Yep.
Cheers. Yeah, that's actually super light.
Super light.
For a 113, it doesn't taste it. Like, this is really confusing. It's very sweet. You definitely taste, I think, the honeysuckle. Like, that's a great description.
Yeah.
Is that in the description? Because that's seriously, you taste that flavor. And the whole way through, like, even on the backside after it gets down, like, it's not any different.
It bites hard.
A little bit.
It fills your mouth with a lot of spice for a while.
Wow.
It's a classic bourbon opening of brioche and caramel, adding a woodsy underpinning of sandalwood, and a wisp of smoke.
Wow.
Maybe that is sandalwood.
Yeah, it could be. So, we have this 113, and we were going to go with a different cigar, but Chris Milton, the father of Kendall Milton with the Georgia Bulldogs, last year when they won, I had a box for them there at the game, and actually it was before the game last year. I didn't have one on the field for the game, but this year I got them the same box. So I wasn't gonna do a real light flavored cigar with this. I was just gonna go hard, like it was gonna be a real robust cigar. But then we got to thinking, let's pair it up because we have a real strong bourbon, 113, and we can do a little tamed down flavored cigar. So we have the Drew Estate, and Don, maybe you can walk this up because my leg's messed up. But this is the Drew Estate Especial Dulce, and this is the cigar that tomorrow when Georgia brings it home, they're gonna have out on the field. And I got this for Chris Milton yesterday. He's in receipt of it, and we're gonna pair it up with the New Year.
Yeah.
Because it looks delightful.
Yeah, last year's game with the Bulldogs was fantastic against Alabama. They played a hell of a game, came out on top. We couldn't have been happier for them, and we can't wait to see it happen again.
It was wonderful. And, last year Kendall didn't really have a lot of playing time, but this year he's right in the thick of things, so he's going to be the guy to watch tomorrow for sure. And we can't wish him enough luck. So last year was fun. We went up there, the two of us and another fellow, and we had a blast. Absolute blast. So this is a mild flavored, it's more like a coffee flavor, which in a minute we're gonna tell you a little something, a secret about the New Year here. But this should pair real well. This cigar does not have like a chemical type flavoring to it. Like a lot of the other ones, and even a couple of the Drew Estates, it tastes like you're smoking chemicals, you know?
Right.
They put this artificial flavoring in there, and it doesn't work for me. This cigar is really laid back, and it's a more of a natural taste to it. And those of you that know me, this is my favorite. It's my go-to. So, but let's put it up against the New Year, Don.
Yeah.
Cheers. Go Dogs. It's funny. It's definitely bringing out another flavor in this that I wouldn't have thought of. And maybe it's the caramel that I'm tasting now coming through because of the sweetness of this cigar, and then that caramel that's definitely in there. It's definitely pulling that out. Like, it's pretty cool. It's like a caramel latte in my mouth right now.
There you go.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, a super cool taste. Which we kind of expected, to be honest with you. Like, we thought that would happen with this pairing.
As you're going for the second sip, it's still definitely got a lot of spice that sticks around in the mouth, but that starts to mellow down. It burns all the way down. It's definitely a big bourbon, but it's got like this syrupy sweetness. Like, it's honey.
It does.
It's like honey.
Yeah. You're right. The syrupy sweetness. It's exactly what it is. And not overwhelming, though. Like, when we were talking about that before, I was like, man, I don't know how I feel about that syrupy type, you know, but definitely good. So, let's rate the bourbon. And because it's not, or because it is what it is, with a blend of different states and different bourbons throughout each state, I think that's a category of itself. So we're going to try to keep it based on that and the proof, obviously, but it's a category of its own.
That's fair, yeah, because this is absolutely American bourbon, but it's definitely not Kentucky bourbon.
Right.
There's a lot to it that's just a lot of those classic Kentucky characteristics aren't there, whether it's the limestone water or whatever it is. So it's an excellent point to rate it as it is. I have to go with 7.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you think it's a 7 because it's a little weaker than what you expected? Do you think it's too tamed down for a 113?
It's not what everything I would expect and hope for in a cast strength.
Yeah.
But it leans more towards like a 101, and it's great for what it is.
Yeah. So I agree with you 100%. But I'll tell you what, I think for the pairing with this cigar and that bourbon, we nailed it. Like, this is really good. Like, for New Year, anybody can get this on the shelves right now, and anybody can go out and get a Tabak Dulce, Especial Dulce. They usually come in bigger sizes, Robusto or the Toros. I'm smoking a Corona Dulce, a little smaller of a smoke because I just don't hang out for hours over one cigar too often. But so I'm smoking the Corona Dolce. This went super well, and it brings out the flavor of the bourbon, right? So I'm gonna rate the pairing a little higher because they go super well together. So I'm gonna give it like an 8.5
Nice.
for the pairing. The cigar itself, it's one of my favorites, so I don't think it's fair for me to rate it because it's gonna be super high, and I know a lot of you guys, cigar aficionados out there, are laughing at me right now, like this is my cigar, but it is. I mean, it's a great daily smoke. So we'll let that alone, but yeah, great pairing, super good.
And that's interesting. Like you were saying, you know, we were going to pair something much bigger, much more robust with this cask strength, but it's funny that it just worked out perfectly.
It did.
Because this bourbon is not what we expected it to be.
Yeah, not at all. We really thought that we weren't sure about this, to be honest with you. But now, for the twist.
Yeah, so Barrell on their website says when you add a splash of water, you're going to end up with characteristics of passion fruit, mango, lassi, ripe banana. They herald a broad range of tropical fruits. So something that you would never think is coming out of your bourbon, tropical fruit. Meanwhile, a leafy side expands, exhibiting cigar, tarragon, and peppermint characteristics. So let's give her a shot.
So like this could totally change. We're gonna need a little more bourbon, I think.
A little more whiskey.
But this could totally change the whole rating itself, right? For anything.
Yep.
For the pairing, for the bourbon, for the cigar. Now, how much is a drop? Like, I think we have to do a little more than just maybe like a couple capfuls or something, right?
I'm gonna give it a splash.
So I guess when you know, it's more relevant when you put this on ice, on the rocks, right? So you have a ball in there and it's slowly melting in, and you're adding that water to it, which is the same with any bourbon or whiskey. It's gonna kind of drain down or tone down the kick to it.
Yeah.
But just by adding the water itself,
And the temperature changes that too. So
It
we're
does,
using
yeah,
water
yeah.
that's not ice cold, so you're still gonna have some of those warmer characteristics that won't be re-hidden by it. Oh, that's so strange.
it totally changed the smell.
It absolutely changed
Oh my
the aroma.
gosh!
I love what I'm smelling out of the glass right now. I don't know what it is.
It's
definitely
caramel. I mean, I could smell the caramel
Right,
coming
caramel
out like
fruit.
that. Yeah,
It's like
and definitely
caramel,
fruit.
like
Yeah,
caramel apples.
yeah. Wow, guys, you got to try this. This is amazing. Amazing. Let's try this. I mean, I guess you can definitely taste the sweetness coming out a little more. I don't know if I'd go tropical fruit type though. I think it's more the caramel and maybe, like you said, like an apple or
I'm getting a cherry in there, like a bright red cherry. Not a sweet cherry, but not necessarily tropical fruits.
No. Although on the back end, when you let it sit a little bit, you could definitely taste the change.
The aroma definitely changed more than the
Than
flavor.
taste, yeah. Yeah, you know, there is that apple type smell. The aroma.
The nose.
We'll get this right someday. Let's smoke this cigar with it.
There's maybe some mango in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's kind of it.
But now there is that like juicy mango.
Yeah, it's still bringing out the same flavors. Like it changed maybe a little bit, especially on the aroma. Definitely changed there. On the taste though, with the bourbon and the cigar, I'll tell you what, when we added the water, it brought out more of the cigar flavor coming out. So I can taste more of the coffee or the cocoa and the caramel for sure in there with it. It's interesting, but you definitely feel that full sweetness. It's a sweet 113.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
I think that it stays the same. I mean, I think you're right. It's a 7 all the way around.
Barrell Craft's New Year obviously comes out every year for New Year. They always bottle this at cask strength, and I appreciate that they did. And I appreciate they gave us those notes about the water, because if they had blended this back to a 101 or somewhere in the 90s, this would be a crazy, weird, fruity bourbon. That probably a lot of people might not appreciate, because it's not what they're looking for out of.
That's interesting too. That's probably why they kept it at a 113 instead of dialing it back.
Yeah.
I wonder what last year's was, to be honest with you.
I think they've all been casked.
Have they?
But they obviously not all coming in at 113.
Right. It's interesting.
Find it.
So I'll fill you guys in on a little secret too. The other cigar that we were looking at, which we're going to use next week to pair, and we're not going to tell you what the bourbon was or is, but the cigar was the Gatekeeper. And we're still going to do that cigar next week, and we're going to pair it up with something fantastic that everybody can get too. And we might even actually put a little ahead of time and schedule this next pairing that we have, so y'all can be right on time there.
Last year came in at 115.34.
115.
And that had some 14-year-old barrels in it. So the age is something we didn't talk about, but this is a blend 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10-year whiskeys. I'm sure there's a lot more 5 and 6 years in there than there are 10s. But,
right.
It does have a complexity that you're getting, knowing that there's some old bourbon in here. And the color of it, this bright yellow, leads you to believe it's somewhere in that mid-range. Somewhere in that, like,
for sure.
7,
For sure. Well, cheers, Don.
Cheers.
This was a pleasure as always. MFA, Don, we will be here next week. Go Dogs. Go Kendall. Listen, I want to see you run in 2 touchdowns at least tomorrow, Kendall. All right, let's make it happen. Run them in there.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.